Hey there, I'm Jennifer Blanchard. I'm an author, a podcaster, the Feel Good Life Coach, and a mindset alchemist who helps you tell a new story about yourself and your life. And this is episode 5 of Creating Wealth Consciousness. So, in today's episode, I thought I would do something a little different, and I'm going to share with you an audio from one of my paid programs, Reprogrammed. And it's an audio that goes over one of the most important, mind blowing, mind changing, life changing things that I have learned about money over the course of my entire adult life. And hopefully what you're going to hear in today's episode is going to shift things for you internally, is going to change the way you think about money and where it comes from. And I'm really excited to hear your comments on what comes up for you after you watch the rest of this video. So watch the rest of the video and I will see you in the comments very soon. Today we are rounding out our discussion about money with something that was absolutely life-changing for me. Something that still to this day blows my mind sometimes, but I keep reminding myself because I know the more I do, the more I start to believe it and the more that it becomes true. So today we are talking about separating money from work. So this is an exercise that I got from Jim Fortin. He's an expert in subconscious mind reprogramming, and he has a great podcast that I highly recommend you check out, the Jim Fortin podcast, I believe it's called. But anyway, he talks about this amazing exercise where you start to show your mind the separation between work and money. So get out a piece of paper and grab a pen, and I want you to draw a box. And in that box, draw a square, whatever, draw a box. And inside, I want you to write work, and I want you to write money. So up until now, you have had work and money in the same box. And this is why you have a belief that you have to work for money, that money comes from work, that money comes from hard work, right? This is why, because you've had money and work in the same box. But the thing is, money and work are not in the same box. We have just been taught that they are. And this is something that fucks with us. And I'm now going to help you to unfuck it. All right, so now I want you to draw another box next to this one. And in it, I want you to write work. Now I want you to go back to the original box and cross out work. Now you have money in one box and work in the other. This is an important distinction that you need to make and that you need to get into your subconscious mind. Because our society has programmed us and taught us that money comes from work. But that is a lie. And the more we believe that lie, the more we trap ourselves into the dogma of thinking that we have to work harder and do more to get more money. That is fucking bullshit. It is not true. And you are now going to stop believing it, right? It's going to take time, but the more you remind yourself of this, and you might have to listen to this audio over and over again every day for the next 6 months if necessary, right? But I just want you to get it in your mind that work does not come from money. And you can tell this very easily by looking at the extremely wealthy people of the world. And you can see easily by looking at them that they are not working very much, and they are not working super hard, and yet they are receiving insane amounts of money. How is that possible, right? And this is where we have to start to wrap our heads around it, right? Because it gets so easy to just believe that work comes from money. And then you get stuck in thinking that you have to do more and work harder in order to get more money. And it is a trap. It is a lie. And it is a dogma that is going to keep you stuck. So, extremely wealthy people do not work hard for their money, right? They enjoy a leisurely lifestyle. They have everything they could dream of and more. And yet more money just keeps coming to them, right? Sometimes they take entire years off and they still make money, right? They're still billionaires. They're still millionaires. So how is this possible? It's because extreme wealth does not come from work. It comes from 3 places specifically. First place is the universe. Money comes from the universe. Write that down. Money comes from the universe, okay? This one was so hard for me to understand at first. But once I got it, it changed everything. Money comes from the universe. And now I'm going to explain this one. And then I'm going to explain the other two. But just money comes from the universe. Let's start with this one. So sometimes there's something we really want to do in our life. One big example for a lot of people who follow me is write fiction, right? So a lot of people who follow me want to write fiction. They want to be fiction authors, write novels, etc. But they don't allow themselves permission to spend time doing this, or they don't value the time that they spend doing this, writing the fiction, getting to actually do the fiction writing that they want to do, because they don't make money from it yet. That's the belief that they have. That's the story. They can't spend time doing it, or they can't make it a priority because they don't make money from it. Because they have a mindset that says work or money comes from work. But the truth is, money comes from the universe. And we're going to continue this example in a second, but I'm going to add the other two things in now. Money comes from the universe. Money comes from your vibration. Money comes from your consciousness. So we talked about wealth consciousness yesterday, and whether you have a wealth consciousness or a poverty consciousness, well, that is either going to attract or repel money, right? Your consciousness. Same thing with your vibration. Whatever frequency you're in, if you're in the frequency of I'm wealthy, I have abundance, or if you're in the frequency of lack and limitation, you will either attract or repel money in that frequency. So knowing this, right? Knowing that the money is not from work, right? Money does not come from work. Money comes from your vibration and your consciousness and the universe. You don't have to work harder. You have to work smarter. And working smarter means, first of all, knowing that money does not come from work, separating those two things, and then focusing your time and your priorities on the things that raise your vibration, aka writing the fiction, if that's one of the things for you, or whatever thing makes you feel good, right? Because when you do things that feel good to you, you attract money because you earn money with your vibration. Money does not come from work. It comes from your vibration. It comes from your consciousness. So if you live in a wealth consciousness, if you live in a wealth mindset, if you believe that you are a wealthy person, that you are an abundant person, and you do things that feel good to you, you do things that really make you feel amazing every day, you are going to be on the frequency of the money. And the universe will find ways to send it to you, right? So maybe sometimes it will come from your job, but other times it might come from other things, right? So you might win the lottery. You might get a birthday card that has some cash in it. You might have somebody who owed you money pay it back to you. You might get an unexpected client or a sale, or maybe a refund from something that you thought you had to pay and you overpaid. Or there's a million ways that money can come to you when you don't see money as it has to come from work, that I have to do something to receive money. You don't. What you have to do is make sure you are in the vibration of money, which is feeling good, right? It's a good feeling vibration, and that you have the consciousness of wealth, that you are not in a poverty consciousness, because that will repel money. Same thing with your vibration. If your vibration is not in a feel good place because you're not doing the activities you want to be doing because you keep telling yourself that doing that isn't going to make you money or doesn't make you money, then you are literally repelling money. I know this is so confusing sometimes, and it seems like so hard to take on and really believe as truth. I know, because I fought it super hard when I learned this first. Like, I fought it super hard because my entire life I was taught you have to do things to earn money, right? You have to physically do things. You have to take action. You have to work. You have to whatever. But when I look back at the times when I received money in my life and in my business, it was never from working. It was never from taking action. It was always from how I was being, who I was being, and how I was feeling. So, like, I've made more money during nap time than I've made consciously sometimes. Like, I get client payments while I nap all the time, right? So, like, you send a client invoice out and you want them to pay it, and you're sitting there and you're thinking about it, and you're like, oh, I want them to pay because you got all these bills that you know got to get paid and blah, blah, blah. So what do? Typically, you think about it and you worry about it, and then you're like, oh my God, is she going to pay? I'm worried now. I'm confused. And what happens is you just push the money away. You keep them from paying even longer. When if you just send the invoice and go about your life, They pay faster, right? Because you're in the state of, I know this is done deal. I know it's happening. I don't have to worry. But we worry. We put energy into it of worrying, and therefore we repel it. So you don't have to do anything to receive money. You just have to be in the vibration of money. You have to have the consciousness of money. And then you have to have the belief that money comes from the universe, not from work. So as many times as you need to listen to this audio, as many times as you need to do that exercise with the square, right? Write work and money and then separate them out. Remind yourself, money comes from the universe. Money comes from the universe. Money comes from the universe. I earn money through my vibration and my consciousness, not from how hard I work, not from how much action I take, not from how much I do. It's from who I be, right? It's from how I be. It's from how I show up energetically. It's from how I see myself. That's where extreme wealth comes from. That's why extremely wealthy people have as much money as they do, because they live in that state, right? They have wealth consciousness. They see themselves as wealthy people. They expect money to show up for them, and they have the vibration and the frequency that attracts more of it, because they mostly live their life in a relaxed state, in a state of doing whatever the hell they want to do, right? And the things that they enjoy doing, they do more of that. They do mostly that. And that's why they keep getting more money. And it makes no sense to anybody, right? So you look at people who have extreme wealth and you think, how can they have all this money and they're not doing shit? I don't understand. I work super hard and I have nothing. It's because of who they're being, right? It's their consciousness. It's their vibration. It's the way they see themselves. It's the things that they're doing, because they know that they don't have to worry. They know that money comes from the universe and that it's always going to show up somehow for them. So they live their life from that place, and they do things they enjoy. They do things that feel good to them. They indulge and they enjoy and they live their life. And by doing that, more money comes to them. So while you might not be able to just retire right now and move to the Bahamas, you can start doing more of the things you enjoy doing every single day. And that could include things that don't, quote unquote, make you money. And so the more you do that, the more you start to give yourself permission to spend time doing the things that feel good to you, even if logically it doesn't make sense and you don't logically see how it will make you money, do it anyway. And I promise you that the more consistently you do that, and the more consistently you're in that vibration of feeling good and knowing that like everything is taken care of, you don't have to worry, and you have wealth consciousness and you see yourself as this person, that you will be that person and you will get the outcome and the results of that person. But money does not come from work. And so long as you believe that and continue to operate from that place, you're just going to continue to experience money in this way. So this was the most life-changing thing that I've learned as of late. And I continue to remind myself of this over and over again as I reprogram my mindset around this, because obviously I've had the mindset of money comes from work because that's what I was taught and that's what's in my subconscious. So that is what has been changing, right? So I've been reprogramming that and reminding myself of that. And part of my belief statements every day say, money comes from the universe, money comes from the universe, and money comes from the universe. So that is your prompt for today. You are going to write out, money comes from my vibration, my consciousness, and the universe, over and over and over again, okay? Money comes from my vibration, my consciousness, and the universe. Money comes from my vibration, my consciousness, and the universe. So that is it for this week's episode of Creating Wealth Consciousness. I hope that what you heard today is absolutely blowing your mind and is something that you're going to take to heart and really do the exercise and the journal prompt that I talked about, because I promise you this is going to change things for you when you can really wrap your mind around it and how it actually works. So that is it for this week. I will see you guys very soon. And until next time, remember, feeling good is the point and the path.